Hello, my friends. It's the summer transfer window, but first, the Champions League draw. Can we please get an easy group? And then we'll go review the transfers that we've made. It's kind of been get the broom out, just that's how you broom, by the way. I've obviously used a broom. You actually hold it with two hands separately instead of the. Anyway, let's go do the draw. Welcome in, my friends. Hit that like button if you are enjoying this type of content. You can't see who's behind me, but I'll give you this. Man United, because they won the Champions League last season. Juve, Monaco, Sporting are on this side. Obviously, Bayern Munich, Madrid, Ajax, and Everton. We are still a fourth seed, which is unfortunate considering we finished second. We're on a 27.0. Valencia is the only other team below us. But, I mean, there's some other teams nearby, but it's a big jump. Even Celtic are on a 52.0. So it's still a big jump for us up to the next level. Let's just see. Let's just do the first three. Right? Three? Yes. Three. Okay. We can't get Group A because Dortmund's in there. Group B is Monaco, Chelsea, and Club Bruges. That seems Monaco seemed to have spent money, and they also stole Joshua Zirkzee from us. And then Chelsea, quite good. Ajax, Barcelona, Atalanta seems like a tough group. Everton, hold the phone. I missed that. Everton, Inter, and Salzburg would be a great group. I think. We can't be in Group E. That's Bayern, Man City, and Celtic. Good luck to whoever the fourth team is in that group. Sporting, PSG, and Young Boys would be okay. Juve, Benfica, Leipzig, we can't be in. And Madrid, Arsenal, and AC Milan, we'd probably like to avoid that as well. Okay, Villarreal. Okay, so we get Monaco, Chelsea, and Club Bruges. Let's see who gets into Group E. Sparta Prague. Well, it was fun while it lasted, Sparta Prague. There's our group. What do you think about it? Chelsea, let's just take a look here. Last season, oh dear, 7th to 3rd, Marcelo Gallardo is like my FM nemesis. So he's in charge. Lovely, but 3rd is better than 2nd or 1st in the Premier League, yeah? Monaco won the league with Niko Kovac, presumably. Yes, he's been there since 2020. And then Club Bruges. Yeah, Club Bruges won the league after finishing 5th the year before. They are under Gert Verheyen, who I'm sure many of you know. He's currently, I think in real life, the Standard Liège manager. Or maybe he was the Oostend manager. It says he started Standard Liège in 2021, so I'm not sure when that actually happened. What do you think about the draw? Let's go transfers? Yeah, transfers. This is at the close of the transfer. The transfer window is officially closed. Like, obviously, other leagues might still be open and could poach our players. We still have $23 million in the bank, which sounds like a mistake, and it may be. I wanted to keep the money for the second half of the season in case we needed to, bolster to make a Champions League or Europa League run. You can see we're at 1.336 million weekly spend with a wage budget of about 70 grand, or no, 80, no, like 94 grand more than that. So we got some wiggle room. Our debt and loans currently is down to 82 million, which is absolutely massive. Now we have had some transfers out, so I'm imagining those payments go out. That's eventually going to crawl back up, but it's definitely headed in the right. We got the Champions League money. It was like 14 or 15 million, right? So if we could get some draws in the Champions League or maybe beat Club Bruges, we start chipping away at that net debt and do well in the league this season, we could be close to zero. Maybe half, maybe 30, 40 million. Essentially, one major transfer away from back to zero net debt would be absolutely mental. We've not done a ton of business on the ins, so let me show you the outs first. We'll kind of hit them kind of fast because it's kind of going to be like this. Let's go. First up, Bosticon out to Antalaspor for 1 million, rising to 1.3 million. Wanted to get him off our books. Got a decent offer. This is hard to believe. They bought him for 700 grand in 2019. We still made a profit, theoretically. Now, that's ignoring all of the wages that we carried. But I guess, in the grand scheme, you had a player, you could use him, whatever. But this loan here was pretty much break even. We used him sparingly, I would say, in the 24-25 season. That's probably the understatement. Heidenheim, I think we covered some of the wages there, but, you know, we still got more than what we paid. It's fine. Marson has gone on loan to Gruther. I tried. From a contract standpoint, they are paying his wages and nothing else. He is on a regular starter contract. He's on a 6.8 with 2 starts and a sub with a goal thus far. Gruther is in 10th in the Zweite Bundesliga on 7 points, but, you know, it's early days. Hopefully that goes well for Marson. He was with Heidenheim last season. Obviously, we got a loan fee, but like I think it was just to essentially cover the wages. He did really well for them last season in 12 starts and 1 sub with 8 goals on a 7.14. So hopefully he's just kind of settling in and he'll do all right. Original Karim has gone on not on a loan. We've sold him to Arminia Bielefeld. So this is not the original club. We had him loaned. No, wait. We had him loaned to them, and then they didn't want to convert him, but then like in the window they were interested. So essentially we sold him for 1.2 million. There's no rising or anything like that. Essentially wanted to get his wages off the books. I know some of you said like, oh, you could get 3 or 4 million for him. I just don't believe that. He's a Zweite Bundesliga player, really, I think. That's where he was. No, he was with Armenia, I guess, last season. Maybe I'm wrong. We got our value out of him. I just didn't think he was worth keeping around. And, you know, at this stage of the save, I guess I would say it's like 1.2 million versus 2 million. It's like what up? Like, get off my books. Luca Campanile, who played awfully last season for Karlsruhe on loan in the Zweite Bundesliga, 6-6-1 and 26 starts, 5 subs, has gone for a whopping 65 grand to once again re-relegated FC Kaiserslautern for 65 grand, rising to 83 grand. Massive, massive deal. We did sell Abner Alou to Eintracht Frankfurt. It says he's worth 5.2 million because he has a release clause, which is interesting. We sold him for 2.4 million. It said his range was like 2 to 4 or 2 to 5, something like that. He is a homegrown club and nation player. Maybe we could have held out. Honestly, I was just trying to raise some funds at the time, and like, we could have kept him around, but he's got 8 composure. He's got Malik composure, okay? So it's like, anybody that wants to buy him, go right ahead. He could be a fine player for you. He's on a 7.1 and 3 starts in the Bundesliga. Good for them. I don't think he compares to our current batch of center backs, so it's like he might as well go. Uriel has gone back on loan to Antwerp as, wait for it, an important player. They are essentially paying his wages, not even his full wages. They're paying like, you know, whatever that is, like 80% of his wages. And that's fine. This is an investment. We paid 145 grand for him last season. He did okay in the Eredivisie with Vitesse on a 6.87. Now he's on loan. He's got 2 starts on a 6.4. Really, that's a 6.1 and a 6.7. I did check. But the idea here is if he can continue to get important player minutes and continue to develop, you know, he's currently worth more than 10 times what we paid for him, like 15 times what we paid for him, something like that. So could we get that value to 3 or 4 million? Maybe. We got time. We'll figure it out. Luka Podlec has gone to Sandhausen on loan. First choice goalkeeper minutes, and they've used him. Yay! Somebody that loaned a player and meant it. Get in. And as you can see, that has really helped his development because he's conceded 2 goals a game. I mean, he's a Zweite Bundesliga keeper. It is what it is, okay? A 6.76 thus far. How's Sandhausen doing? They're 17th in the Zweite Bundesliga with a whopping 1 point. So will they stay with him the whole time? Remains to be seen, but he's betting in. He's betting in. He's betting in. This is kind of a sad one. Joe Scally has gone to St. Gallen in Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland. For 1.1 million. I think there's like a 20% sell-on clause. So we lost money on the deal. He just didn't really develop, you know? And part of that, I think, is like some of these loans, like Werder Bremen, they loaned him and then they didn't use him. Then they reloaned him and they did use him. And he just, you know, 6, 7, 8 in the Zweite Bundesliga last season is not great. He was all right. We took a punt on him, right? So like, that was fine. We loaned him a bunch. We took a punt. We only lost 400 grand plus whatever wages, but he wasn't on huge wages for us anyway. So here's to hoping that, he can regain some form and get a cat for the USMNT. It's not looking real good, though, to be honest with you. I think this one's kind of interesting. We've loaned Luciano. So the guy who didn't want to play right back, thus the orange dot, he's like, no, I'm not learning that, who is the backup to the backup left inside forward, has gone to Banek Ostrava, which was kind of random. Czech Republic, currently 5th in the league. Last season, they finished 5th in the league. So they're hoping he could be the difference maker. He's on a regular starter contract, but they've given him important player minutes. They are paying his full wages plus a whopping 2.5 grand a month, my friends. That's more than 500 a week. But again, his value had dropped down to like 600 grand, like on the low end. And just because he's played in the Europa Conference League and the league 6 times with 3 goals on a 7.93, he is lighting up the league. His value is increasing. So I think we could get him to a point where maybe we reloan him one more time. But like, we paid $875 kind of as a punt, okay? And it was a good punt last season because we were able to just versatile use it like, hey, play midfield. Hey, turns out that Balogun's out. You're now the left backup. Hey, we got no right back. You're the new right back for 3 games, right? Like that paid off. But can we get his value to a point where they want to buy him or somebody else wants to buy him for $2 million or something like that? I like little things like this where it's like, oh, we got a good move, and they are playing him all over the place. It's kind of awesome. And City Sane has gone on loan to SC Verl, who I'm assuming just got promoted. They finished... Oh, that was several seasons ago. Yes, they just got re-promoted for the first time in like 3 years or something like that. They're not paying any of his wages. If for some reason he just does lights out for them, he's currently on 7 starts on a 6.66, so not so much. We might extend his contract. Otherwise, we're just going to let him expire. Joining him on loan is Florian Alfeld, who just hasn't really developed like I would hope he would in our under-19 setup. We've not been able to get many loans for him. His contract's up at the end of the season. We're currently paying him $1,200 a week, so it's like not really costing us anything. I'm hoping he does well. 6 starts and a sub on a 6.86. This might be his level, right? But like, I feel like there's a player there. He's got to justify 8 composure. Warning. 9 decisions. Warning. He's got to justify us even giving him a 2-year deal, right? But there's a chance with those physicals, maybe, probably not, but maybe. Another youth prospect, Luka Malesevich, I think, has gone on loan to Duisburg, who are in the 3 Liga. And it's suiting him just fine. He is a 3 Liga standard player. He's got 8 starts on a 6.99, playing quite well. Is he ever really going to be a right back for us? Probably not. Could he develop to the point that someone wants to pay more than like 40 grand plus a 40% sell-on clause? Maybe. That's the hope. We just loaned Montader back to Paderborn for the 2nd time. They gave him 6 starts, 4 subs on a 6.7 last season. We've loaned him out where they're paying essentially nothing. But, I wanted to get him the minutes. He's a regular starter. We just sent him out there. That's why he doesn't have an appearance yet. He did have a 9.1 in the DFB Pokal for us. It was the first round. I'm going to show that to you because of the pitch that we played on was quite interesting. But he had a brace against a nobody team. But hey, maybe that got Paderborn to go, we could probably use him. And last but definitely not least of the outs, Malik has gone to Hoffenheim. We sold him for $16.5 million plus a 20% clause. He's a 3-star player. You can tell he's gone to Hoffenheim. Okay, Hoffenheim finished 9th last season, and he's on squad player minutes. He was an important player, and then I think we demoted him to a regular starter, or I was going to, but like, he's not a regular starter value for us anymore. So essentially, how I looked at it is we activated Anel's release clause for $17 million, and we just sold Malik for $16.5 million. So essentially, Anel cost us $500 grand. Plus, we could, if he develops, Malik does, and they sell him whatever, like, cool, even better. It just felt like it was time. He made too many mistakes in big games last season, and it was just like, as a player, I was like, I don't trust this guy. I feel like FM is trying to, like, every time he's in the game, something bad's gonna happen. So get rid. See you later, sir. Thanks for being here. And again, you hate that, right? Like, oh, look at that career, right? And in the games he played in, despite the mistakes he made, right? Now, 6 Continental on a 6-6-3 kind of tells the story, but like in the Bundesliga games we played him in, 18, like half the season, a 7-1-7. So he's a fine player. Just, it was time to move on. So here's an L. Obviously, 17 million. We gave him 55 grand a week. We don't have a release clause, which is lovely. He's worth 38 to 45 million. Value for the money, you might say. 7.5 thus far in 2 starts in the league, and a 7.5 in the DFB Pokal. I mean, I know you know who an L is. I just wanted to bring him back up. Elite center back and a perfectionist. Get in. We've also rolled the dice a little bit. We let Patrick walk. I guess I didn't show that to you, but we knew that was happening. We signed Sebastian Valdez, a Mexican product here. It says he's a right back. He did a 7.01 last season and 34 starts in Liga MX. And we paid 7 million. He had a release clause. Is he a right back? No. Not really. His crossing and dribbling is Patrick-esque, which is not a compliment, my friends. Technique is a 10. He's really the new, like, if Malik had actually been a squad player, he's the new Malik. Like, he's 20 years old. His aggression is not very high. His composure is better than Malik's. We're going to put him on, like, cover. 18 heading, 18 jumping reach, 19 bravery. I think he's a perfect fit for that. And it gives him time to develop. This is how I saw this window. It's like, I didn't see glaring holes. I think the biggest glaring hole you could make the argument is like, we don't have like an elite backup goalkeeper, but who does? Okay. And it went, this is a time to really reinforce the squad and like take some, I don't know, I would say it's a punt, but like bring in some kids. He's listed as a professional wonder kid. Okay. Bring those guys in and give them a chance to develop. We got Champions League group stage games. We got all kinds of minutes to share. If for some reason at the end of the, like the first half of the season, if he's not getting enough minutes, I'm guessing someone would want to loan him. Like, I just felt like for 7 million, getting a center back wonder kid who's 6'3", who really can play all over the back line. Not that we would play him there, but if we had to, we could, is a good deal. Now he's had 2 subs on a 6.85, which is fine. And he started in the DFB Pokal and gave us an 8.1. But again, I am going to show you that game. And then there's times where good values just are available and you go, I think I got to buy that. So Ryan Aitanuri, yes, from Wolves, but we didn't get him from Wolves. We got him from Sheffield United because they got relegated and he had a release clause. So they paid 24 million. They used him last season, 34 starts, 699 in the Premier League. So on a team that got relegated, the left back was not the reason, right? I mean, he only had 2 goals and 1 assist, but you know, he's the left back. And probably, I don't know, I would guess they're playing a back. Does he know the wing back? Maybe they're playing like a back 5. Who knows? Either way, it wasn't his fault. So 17 million for a player that really is probably worth, at the time, it was like 30 or 35 million. He's 25. We do have other Karim that we would like to develop. He's going to get loaned out in the January window. We need players around during the group stage. That's the reality. Kostas is not doing so hot. He's not really worked out for us from like he's not a stud. He's not like, wow, he's amazing. We actually had an offer for him. We turned it down. We want to keep those 2 guys are going to rotate at left back, right? Ryan probably going to be more of the starter, but Kostas, more than enough minutes available to keep him happy is the idea. And then we might sell Kostas if other Karim can develop. If that doesn't happen, then we would loan other Karim. That's kind of my planning for the future. But right, I mean, if you look at this guy, right, compare him to Kostas. I would like to compare him. I love when you click off screen and come back. It's like, no. He's better than him every single way except mentals, except Kostas is 30. Of course, Ryan's mentals aren't 100% there yet, but everything else is there. And I feel like this is a guy who could be our left back for the next 4 years. I think he's got it. He's an improvement across the board. The mentals will get there. I'm not at all worried about that. We're paying 83 grand a week. And if for some reason he doesn't work out either, right now we could double our money and then some. So like, I think we're in a pretty good position. So that's the window. 41 million in, 17 of that is a Nell that we already knew, and 22.5 million out. But a lot of the outs is just like, again, sweeping up the floor. We still have some of that to do. I'm trying to get a loan for Kai, but nobody wants him. I did try selling him for 20 million just to see what would happen. I'm not sure what Nuremberg are doing. Isn't the window closed? Is the Zweite Bundesliga window not closed? How does that work? Where's their window? No, the window's closed. What are you all talking about? Or no, does it close later today? I'm not really sure. So he's one that we could we try and loan. Peter Meyer is not happy. Kai Brewer is going to be really our backup right back. And I know that's a little bit of a risk, but again, I think the minutes are there. He's technically not as good as Sebastian. Sebastian, for some reason, is listed as our best right back, even though, I mean, it's like as a no-nonsense fullback, like he cannot cross. He can't play at our level. I think I'd like to give Kai a chance. Zweite Bundesliga last year, 685. Leave him in the team around these really good players, 19 years old. Not put him in massive games, but give him a chance to develop. And if for some reason he's not available or can't do it, then Sebastian is a more than capable, like, again, more of a no-nonsense fullback, but he can play the role, right? So I feel like we got right back covered. We've kept Adrian White because we loaned out Podlets. We actually had an offer for 7.25 from Hertha. I think it was Hertha, for Adrian. And boy, I tell you, I was real tempted. He didn't want to go, which was useful, but I was like, 7.25 for a guy we got on a free last season? Oh, it was real hard to say no. But I'm hoping to give him, Podlets minutes, and maybe again with the DFB Pokal and the Champions League, like maybe he can actually start some of those games in between. Let's go take a look at that game that I keep telling you about. So in the DFB Pokal first round, we drew TuS Osdorf. Let's just we lost to Bayern. Let's just do the results. We lost to Bayern Munich in the DFL Super Cup. Sorry, the Super Cup. Goretzka, Mbappe, Lewandowski is still around. It's amazing. But then we played pretty well. We beat Mainz 4-1, Cologne 4-1, and Wolfsburg 1-0, which was actually kind of disappointing because we looked pretty good against them. But let me just show you this game against Osdorf. Osdorf, what a name. And maybe this is how their actual pitch looks, but prepare yourselves, my friends, if you're not in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, you know what's coming because I posted it in the Discord going like, is this a graphical error? What is happening? Like, is this are they playing on tennis court clays? Is that a thing? Is it like gravel? Like, I don't understand. Is it like the track material? Like if you're running track and field? I don't understand. Someone explain to me, TuS Osdorf, are you familiar with their... I'm assuming they don't own this. This is going to be something that they're renting from like a municipality or something. Like, anyway, we beat them 3-0, but I was just like, I started going like, uh-oh, something's wrong with my graphics driver. I have no idea what the deal is with that. Yeah, Monaco, Bruges, Chelsea, yeah, and then we pulled Eintracht Frankfurt in the DP Pokal second round. They are currently in 15th, so maybe that's a chance for Adrian White to get a start. I'm going to bring you back next time to bring on Monaco and Club Bruges. We are currently, though, my friends, okay, no longer. We were top of the table. But the important thing is we have a 2-point lead over Bayern Munich. Can we keep a 2-point? We really need to be more because they're probably going to beat us because it's Bayern Munich in Football Manager 22. But if you've enjoyed this, my friends, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.